Have you heard of an artist called, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but his last name is Beksinski?
Yes. No. Remember, I don't remember anyone's name.
Oh.
You know that. Nick, you're lucky I remember your name. What's he known for, maybe?
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, Nick, you well?
I'm well, thank you. What's your list for this year's current game of the year?
Oh, Resident Evil Requiem?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
What? Okay, what else has actually come out this year that was amazing? Like absolutely dumbfoundingly amazing compared to that.
Okay, Resident Evil Requiem.
I'll give you. I'm probably one of those people that actually puts Pragmata up there too, because
I'd put Pragmata up there.
Well, a lot of people say it's like an 8. I think that's untrue. I enjoyed most aspects.
That's not. Of the game. No, people are just. They don't even know what 8 means anymore. Pragmata is a very good game.
Resident Evil Requiem above Pragmata, out of curiosity? Would you say that? See, it's the other way around for me, but you are a massive Resident Evil head in horror games, so that's why.
Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, and we're forgetting about Pocopia.
I don't think I was, but I know it's definitely up there on a lot of people's lists.
It is. It's apparently extremely good.
Yeah, I get you. It's like Animal Crossing, but Pokemon, right? Which is fine, if that's your thing. Not a huge Animal Crossing fan, which is weird because I liked Stardew Valley, so I don't particularly know why I like one over the other. But yeah, I've not actually played any. What is it, like Pokotopia? I know Ditto owns a farm.
Pokemon Pocopia.
What's the Pokia? Like Cornucopia? Why is it? I don't understand its name. No one understands.
I don't know. Can we try and make any sense of what the Pokemon company does?
No. Why isn't it just called like Pokemon Farm?
I can tell you why they're not calling it Pokemon Farm.
Well, yeah, I will grant it. I'll give you. That's literally
when your Totodile gets old, it's time to send him to the Pokemon Farm.
Oh, you think that's dark? They did that in Pokemon once. They had a Pokemon actually die.
Did?
Yeah, it was like a big terrier, like this big dog, and Litten was its friend, and then they go back under the bridge and he's gone, and there's just I think there's a visage of him in the clouds or symbolics to just denote, he died. Pokemon is dark now. People die. Pokemon die.
Goodness. Well, immediately moving on from that.
Sorry, okay, so
I'm bringing up Game of the Year because we might have a contender this week. Dave?
Well, this week, it's a game everyone is fundamentally playing and talking about at the moment, which is fair. It's Saros, a PlayStation exclusive, which is a rarity nowadays. I'm not sure if Are you pro exclusivity to consoles and PCs, or do you want them all to fit on all consoles?
I think it's complicated. I think with the exclusives market, if it's competitive, it benefits everyone. Right.
Yes, agreed. If there's an actual battle and war and so speak.
If Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation are all making competent exclusives on consoles, there's an actual competition. I don't want to call it a war. I don't want to be one of those. These companies need to be competitive. Yeah. And that's always a win for the consumer. So in that regard, yes, I'm pro-exclusive.
Sadly, Halo's just dropped the ball in that regard. It's like there was no competition out there anymore. But yeah, so this was, is it Housemarque?
It's just Housemarque.
It's Housemarque, a Finnish developer, which we've all probably know of them from their relatively famous game, Returnal, right?
That's not true. I think Housemarque's Australian.
Is it really? How have I written down Finnish?
I always try and make fun of their Australian accents when they come on and do a developer diary.
As you do, as anybody does in regards to, how did I get? It'd be funny if there's another company called Housemarque and I've just gone into it and it's Housemarque. The first one I'm getting is Finnish. Really? Am I going mad?
Housemarque nationality. What's going on?
Housemarque is Finnish.
No, am I?
Well, the mark thing is kind of French and European in the way of its spelling. So
okay, then I'm happy to be. I'm wrong then. In this case,
okay,
I'm
so
wrong. I always thought who's the creative director for this? Gregory Lorden, I think is his name.
Yes, I think I read that somewhere. It is. I believe it's that fellow. Yes. Is he Australian?
He's Australian.
That doesn't sound like a Finnish name. I'll give you. It's not enough. There's no tempo to it to be Finnish. But anyway, it is a Finnish studio who are famous for the Returnal game, which is fundamentally well received, right? I know you enjoyed it, and it's a bit hit and miss for a few people, but it's the same type of like mysterious story that keeps you pulled on a stick.
It was the mysterious story and the world of Atropos that caught a lot of people, but it was the extremely difficult gameplay that a lot of people just couldn't access. They couldn't get past it.
Is that game harder than this one then? Out of curiosity, because I haven't played
Yes,
Returnal.
we'll get into it, but
really?
yes,
Okay.
Returnal is harder. Mainly because that's a roguelike and this is a roguelite.
Oh, wow, they just sound like I don't even know the two differences of those. But I'm sure we'll get into it. Okay, should we jump into narrative then?
Let's.
Okay, the narrative is kind of one of the big selling points to be it Returnal and Saros itself, right? Because you play as Arjun Devraj. I'm probably going to say these wrong, I apologize to everyone who's listening. You're a Soltari enforcer on the planet Carcosa after a bunch of previous mine expeditions just mysteriously disappeared. And you're there by a big corporate facility who wants to mine the Lucenite, but our man Arjun, he has another mission. He needs to go track down his wife, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Nitya. So that's kind of like the bread and bones. You're there with your own mission, but there's a big corporate greed. There's a big mysterious, why has everyone disappeared? And
it's very... I've found some close ties between how this game is set up. You're on kind of stranded on an alien planet with a big mission, but corporate is wanting to take over. Yeah. Can you tell me what other game we've played with that exact setup?
Oh God! Now I'm trying to think. Pragmata kind of has it to some degree with the moon stuff, the lunar stuff. To be honest with you, I bet you I do not go with the game you're talking about, because I also want to say...
no, we've reviewed this game in the year.
Outer Worlds.
Yes, the Outer Worlds too.
Okay, nailed it. Finally, I get one of your random questions correct. Yes.
Yeah.
There is a very big corporate shadow in this game in regards to just their complete lack of interest of actually saving the humans themselves.
Yeah, and they're not even hiding it.
The Prime Directive. Yeah,
they're not even hiding it. In all of the texts and audio logs you can find, even of this corporation called Soltari, they would very, very, very clearly state Lucenite extraction is to be done above personnel safety.
Yes, it's like people online have had compared it to Amazon, like the main. It's just Amazon. That big computer.
Ouch,
is
but
just
yes,
like
that's
Jeff
true.
Bezos. It is go pee in a bottle. We lost 5 people. Yes, but did you deliver the package? Okay, that's fine.
Somebody passed out in the factory. Okay, walk around him.
That's right. But these games, and I think Returnal's the same way, it drip feeds the narrative too.
Yeah.
In regards to, like you said, to the audio clips, the written notes, the questions you kind of occurs as you wake up and you're looking. It does, for me though, get pretty damn confusing. Now I get that that's kind of the point, right? You're supposed to be confused and you're supposed to slowly piece the things together, and there's a whole mysterious aspect that people are kind of going mad, and the reason is yellow.
Well, you know why? You know why it's just yellow? You probably do.
Oh, well, I know. Okay, I'm playing this. This whole game uses the primary colors. I get that. Like yellow, red, and blue is kind of the whole premise visually and story-wise. Why yellow? Did I miss why yellow is the bad guy?
You probably not missed it, but one of its largest influences is of a book called The King in Yellow. Do you know that book?
I saw the references. We're doing researches. It's like a little short story book from someone, right?
Exactly, yeah. This is a collection of short stories, all written by Robert Chambers. And this predates the Cthulhu mythos.
Yes, I read that. Cool. I read that too, which is also really cool. I love it when
exactly. Yeah, this was one of the main inspirations for H.P. Lovecraft to create Cthulhu and that entire universe. The King in Yellow is such a weird book. I'm not going to pretend like I've read it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like I've read it, but the idea of the King in Yellow is less of a main antagonistic creature or monster and more around a dangerous and deadly idea that infiltrates minds and breeds madness.
Do you know that's supposedly the was it in Elden Ring, the madness that you can get from those yellow eyes and stuff like that? That's also supposed to take the same inspiration from that book. That's cool. Why it's yellow. So in regards to the madness. Yeah, very cool. So
a lot of people. I mean, I kind of think of it like the King in Yellow walked so that the Call of Cthulhu could run.
Yes, and all of the again, inspiration found from all these old stories, be it Frankenstein, Cthulhu, the yellow. The only in this game, it reminded me of one movie. I know this is like one of the movies you've also watched, Event Horizon, right? It reminds me very much of Event Horizon due to the whole people kind of slowly going mad and which is always fun. I like that type of narrative. I always like trying to resolve the psychological thriller aspect of it. But for me, without doing any spoilers, the story then does like a twist, which I'm like, oh, I kind of thought. I don't know. I don't want to ruin it, but if you've ever played Braid,
you dare not spoil on this show.
If you've ever played Braid, the old platformer game from I don't know, like 15 years ago, I'm sure it's really old now. It's the same kind of story, which is funny. I kind of liked it, but I also didn't like it. I particularly didn't like the endings.
Okay. So
two. I'm not gonna get.
I think
spoiler.
I think I'm gonna stop you.
Yeah.
I also have not got to the twist or any of the endings just yet, because this game likes to kick my ass.
Oh, it does. It's again, it's such a slow feed because it's so tied into gameplay and your ability to play it well. The story can really slow down.
Damn, that was one of the blockers for Returnal for me. I remember just falling in love with Atropos, right? Yeah. Celine's entire story. If I'm going to compare the two, I like Returnal's themes more than I do Saros' themes.
Okay, yeah.
I think this game has a lot of themes on obsession, trauma, corruption,
right. And just the weakness of humanity as well, like
exactly
in the mind and stuff. Yeah.
But I think I prefer Returnal's themes, which I got it written down here somewhere. I like Returnal's themes much more. That talks about isolation, grief, and self-reflection. I think you can tell a better story with those than just a man looking for his woman.
Well, to be, like I said, to be spoilers free, I could just say that you'll look forward to the later half of the game. Well, I can really tell you that without giving away too much.
Disregard my point.
I was about to say that's like tick, tick, and tick.
Oh man,
yeah.
Nice.
Nick's gonna like the way this story.
One thing I don't like, but one thing I think they could have done a bit better was a couple of the characters, specifically your crewmates.
Yeah, I agree. My favorite one was the Asian guy. You know, I don't remember names. The old lady, Asian guy, the engineering lady, me, and Jerome. Just because Jerome was so cool. Yeah, the Jerome bit was cool. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
Asian guy was my favorite.
I thought some of them were a bit dense because one of your crewmates clearly is going crazy. It's my 6-year-old would be able to tell you that guy's not okay.
That's what I thought too, and I just thought, why is everyone ignoring this? Like,
why is everyone? Yeah,
is this normal for?
I don't understand. Why? Your crewmate, your engineering crewmate, is just going. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
the hierarchy of command, and you don't question things. But I was at the beginning thinking, oh, okay, this is odd. But okay.
This is odd. But why are they tolerating this? The previous crewmate that went crazy literally pointed a gun at them.
That's exactly right. It's... Again, I get that you've got to do those high beats in a story like this. Yeah. Because if it takes so long for you to get there by getting good and then getting to it, you need to go, oh, whoa, yeah. Now I need to beat the next part so I can get the next story. But I just wasn't a fan of I'm one of these old-fashioned people that I want all the overcoming and all the work and stuff to end off like a badass ending, like hell yeah. It didn't have one of those. Now, granted, I think it's just the old school. I want to save Mary. I want to save the princess. I want to kill the dragon.
Of course, you want this big, satisfying, cathartic ending that ties it all together.
So yeah, this the story was okay for me. I don't think it's like the greatest story to ever come from video games, which a lot of people seem to be lauding a degree. Anything else narrative-wise? Because we don't want to do spoilers. Because
no, we don't. And I think we're already. The only thing that I do want to commend though is it uses a literary device that criminally few pieces of media ever use. And that one of my favorite, Returnal, used the same device. It's introducing more questions than it does answers.
Oh, that does this all the time in this game. Every single time.
I love that Returnal did this. The first season of Westworld did this. The best season of Westworld.
Yeah, the TV series. I remember that was good.
There's so many. Even The King in Yellow and Call of Cthulhu, all those mythos, those books, those old literature books. Very few pieces of media do this, but those that do, can't get enough.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, everyone just wants answers. Why am I confused? Why don't I know what's going on? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I do. I know. The search for answers is always a good carrot on a stick for these types of things.
Exactly. I don't mind not getting them, though.
Yes. And I think I must have seen too many of this before. Maybe I've just watched too many movies. Maybe it's just my old mind watching too many movies by all accounts. Okay, what do you think of visuals? Because I think this is something we're going to both agree on. I just have a sneaking suspicion.
Damn! Right? Dave! Holy... the visuals! I gave this a 10 out of 10. If we can... let me just start right there. These visuals are absolutely breathtaking. Especially the environments.
Oh, I know it's a weird pull. I kind of thought it was like Pan's Labyrinth, but in space. A lot of like the creepy shit that just comes onto the screen, and again later some of the cutscenes which you haven't quite got to yet. Oh fuck! Sorry, I was going to swear. They're amazing. They are the last few cutscenes are like that proper movie quality type cutscenes. They're really well done, really like creepy and scary. But you're right, this game does the atmosphere like very few other games. Even the atmosphere itself is confusing. Like the atmosphere has a degree of what the hell is that?
Exactly, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
And that's cool.
Like there's so much like even there's like the platforms trying to kill you and the weird obelisk-y things you got to break. All of it is like it's so alien in everything you do, and again that's visually the narrative there is very like endearing. It's very hardcore sci-fi kind of like I said. Even the bad people kind of got that Cthulhu, that old written books type of horror to them compared to the current day ones.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Have you heard of an artist called, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but his last name is Beksinski?
Yes. No. Remember, I don't remember anyone's name. You know that. Nick, you're lucky I remember your name. What's he known for, maybe?
He's a Polish artist, and I think this was in the modern era.
Okay.
Or it was postmodern. I can't even remember, but he was
the same to me.
He was a Polish painter, Beksinski, and a lot of his art, I think, was inspiration for the environment in his game. If anyone wants to take a look at his art, Google his first name, Beksinski, and his art, and you'll clearly see.
Oh, that's interesting.
What the inspirations for Carcosa.
One thing I also liked in this is that I know we always a lot of games now have like procedurally generated ways and rooms, and every time you go into it, this kind of did that, but it was subtle little changes every single time you died.
Yeah,
which I thought was so much cooler in regards. Like every time I started, and I died a lot. Every time I started the first bit, I'm thinking, wait, this isn't the first segment of this map. Like, where am I now? But as time develops, and of course, time is kind of a big narrative thing in this game in regards to kind of like Interstellar, time changes and depending on which area you're in and stuff like that. The world kind of changes around you as well, and even Stack starts painting all his pictures and stuff like that inside your base. Which I love those subtle little changes compared to the everything has changed type thing in regards to games now. And are you a fan of eye confetti, the bullet hell, red, green, yellow?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I feel indifferent. I feel they're much more. It's much more for utility than it is to look.
Yes, in this
good,
game entirely,
right?
Because
if it was just a load of bullets all over the place, you wouldn't be able to see them, but they'd serve the same purpose. Big glowing orbs of blue, yellow, and red. Oh, there's the primary colors again.
Did you? Yeah, there was that seemed to be a theme throughout for by all accounts. But did you not find sometimes that the monsters were a little bit repetitive or not?
I did. I did.
I've got it
down here as a weak point. The enemy design eventually all just blend into just
big
one of two categories.
Small floaty thing. Big
or
guy,
it's organic monster, robotic monster.
Robotic monster. Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. Kind of slowly blended, but that's my only real critique. This is a very pretty game. This is like watching a movie.
It really is. Oh, it
in the cinema
is.
And playing it. It's that level of pretty. No, it was like a 10 out of 10.
The second biome, I consistently stopped in my tracks and looked around.
There were lots of moments in where you do that. In regards to just looking at the precipices and stuff like that. There were moments when you walk there.
There's this manga called Blame. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But the idea that humanity has found an infinite resource and an AI to use that infinite resource to create.
Yeah, classic.
And then humanity died out, but this AI never stopped creating with this infinite resource. And after millennia, now there's just this complex the size of solar systems.
Of course. Which kind of had that narrative in this too, right? Because every loading screen was a burning sun, but there were lots of burning suns on that loading screen. Was I the only one? Like, I saw that. I didn't know if that was actually a thing. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it looked like solar rays, right?
Right, yeah. They all looked... I was very confused if this was, multiverse type aspects to it. Are all those different decisions that our lead protagonist has chosen, and that's their version of it? But that's me just looking into things too.
Yeah, we could just be looking at this out of the perspective of Arjun Devraj. We've no idea what is real.
But yeah, it's the influences and stuff that are in there are so... It is so pretty. And I'm not even
this type of game. I'd say this Carcosa as a place is absolutely, I think, what delivers the visuals and what takes this from an 8 or a 9 out of 10 and puts this to a 10.
No,
the
easy.
planet of Carcosa is just, it melts my mind, not just by how good it looks, but how mesmerizing it can be and how truly alien it feels.
Yeah, no, they knocked it out of the park. I think everybody, be it any internet podcast, all agrees the visuals in this are like visually this is the game of the year. Like the visual category, I think this might actually win that because it is incredible. Anything else visuals, or should we go to audio? Audio man, what did you think of the audio in this game?
So I think the voice acting had some strong performances with obviously our main man Rahul Kohli.
Yeah, that's right.
Stands out.
Hey, did you know his sweet little story? I liked his sweet little story. He's British, well, born in England.
Yeah.
And he used to work at like an English equivalent of GameStop. He used to
Really?
stack the gaming shelves and stuff like that. And he remembers being in that GameStop type store and thinking one day I'd really love to voice a character in a video game.
Oh.
And so it actually happened. He actually like he completed that like one wish, which is always just it makes you smile.
Yeah.
The landscape we have now.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And he was also like I'd never heard of him. Had you heard of him before? Because
of course, Rahul Kohli.
what?
Yes. Oh yeah,
What have you
I
heard of him
remember
from?
him when he was still big, Mr. Hollywood, on the Funhouse YouTube channel.
Oh wow, he was in a YouTube. I did not. I know him from the TV series iZombie. I don't know how long ago that. There was a whole. She was a coroner, and she was also a zombie. That's the only place I know.
I've never watched that show. I've never watched iZombie.
Wow, I don't even know. He's a YouTube guy, is he? I did not know.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
in the
he
slightest.
was, and I think it just featured in some YouTube. Well, I mean, he's dating
fair,
a YouTuber, so he's definitely in that environment.
Oh, I did not know that. That's news to me. But yeah,
Yeah, he's dating Alana Pierce.
Oh, Alana Pierce. Yeah, I know her. She's great. Another name. I bet you I'd recognize her, but okay.
I think
But
my
yeah, he does
favorite,
a really good job.
my favorite spot, my favorite place that Rahul Kohli starred in is the series Midnight Mass. Please tell me you've watched Midnight Mass.
Yeah, I've watched. I loved Midnight Mass. That's
Oh,
the
come
church
on,
one,
Dave!
Right? It's the one where you go to church at, like Christmas.
It is
right?
the one where they go to church.
Ah, there you go. See, I've definitely watched it. That wasn't just
damn it.
completely. I know him from Mighty Nine. I know he plays a character in that. Like that's the Critical Role people cartoon anime.
Yeah.
But he was good, right?
He was.
was good in this game. He was solid. I liked his voice acting.
Do we have any others?
We do. Sheridan, or Sherrod, I don't know how to say it, was Jane Perry, which I don't know if you know that name, but it's very should be slightly recognizable to you.
I
Haha.
don't.
Yes, finally I've got you on one. She's the protagonist in Returnal.
Oh, she's Celine!
She's Celine, yep.
What the... So Celine is in this game.
She is. And by all accounts, one of my favourite characters who's has a kind of short-lived in this game, Jerome, is Ben Brendergast, as in Tyr from God of War. Jerome! He was like my favourite character. But yeah, so they've got quite a few...
Okay, so they've got Celine in this game. They've got Tyr in this game.
They do. The rest, here and there, they're not like super famous yet, but they're all in like cartoon type
Who was
type
Stack?
things and stuff.
Because I recognize Stack's voice from somewhere.
I did check him out, and I didn't recognize anything, so I didn't write his name down. But let's. I was like, I know, and he was quite good. To his credit, he was actually really one of the more charismatic voice actors in it, right? Because he has quite a decent narrative in the game. But yeah, I actually didn't really recognize what he was in much. But the voice acting on average is quite good. I think some of it is not that great though.
Oh.
Some of the random people you'd find sometimes in the landscape who are
On
kind of
Carcosa,
who are kind of like a corporate twats. Just every time you talk to them, they're kind of just corporate twats.
Yeah.
I thought some of theirs was kind of hit and miss. I was like,
oh, okay.
I get they're playing, they're kind of discombobulated and kind of indoctrinated by the yellow, but I thought some of that was kind of meh. What did you think of the soundtrack though? Because there was one, and I enjoyed it.
And you can't remember it.
No, I know that I like playing the game. I'm not the greatest soundtrack person, but I do know that sometimes playing the boss fights, the music came in hard. Which I'm, who doesn't enjoy going hard in regards to a bullet?
You know what? When it comes to the soundtrack, you'll only realize the soundtrack is playing when it's either really good or really bad.
That's true. You say that all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, in this case, the soundtrack was extremely atmospheric.
Yeah.
It was similar to the dark ambient Atrium Carceres style of music I talked about in our Hell Is Us episode.
Yeah, I can see
Just
the
long,
same kind of
loud,
styling.
synthesized, distorted sounds that would kind of carry over how distorted Carcosa actually really was.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we always say about things, because we do a section that's narrative, but it's remarkable how many times visuals and audio are actually kind of part of the narrative. Like, that atmosphere is a narrative key, right? It's the mysterious aspect of each level, the mysterious aspect of what you're doing, and the music adding another degree of mystery to what you're doing.
Oh, 100%.
Adds to the narrative
100%.
of the game you're playing. And this did it quite well, because I did notice it, which is it did well.
Feeling that the game or the game designers want you to feel, if they don't get that through the narrative or the visuals, the most effective way to do that is through the audio. This audio, especially the soundtrack, makes me feel tense and confused, and it carries over a certain intensity. I could be standing in the middle of a field in Carcosa, and if this soundtrack is playing, my asshole's puckered.
Yeah, no, this whole thing keeps you on edge. It's a pure spine tingling type of what's around the corner. And then, like, again, I know you didn't quite get there yet, but the last boss fight also goes. The soundtrack to that is pretty awesome too. It's got it's that type of music that just gets your juices going when you feel a bit badass and you're taking on the big badass in regards. Oh, it's so good.
The last pillar in audio, besides voice acting and soundtrack, is sound design. And in this case, the sound design, much like the visuals mid-combat, is just so chaotic.
It really is.
It's chaotic, but it's functional.
But that's kind of the good thing, because the combat's chaotic, right? Again, it's another one of the extra touches to it. Combat in this is very kinetic and very kind of confusing and chaotic, and the music kind of matches, and the gunplay and the sounds and it count.
It has to. It has to. That's why I say it's functional, because it's crucial for spatial awareness. Because of how our eyes and TVs work, we can't see all around us. We don't have 360 vision. But if the sound design is done well and you're wearing earphones or something, you can hear what is going on around you 360. You can hear the enemy is behind me, if it's far, if it's close, if it's shot multiple times. Staggered, you can hear any off-screen threats, but obviously you cannot see them. So the sound design here is so functional and necessary.
Yeah, no, I think they nailed it in that regard.
I think so too.
I think, good time. Anything else, audio or gameplay? Should we jump
Let's go on to gameplay.
Okay, first thing I got to ask you, what was your favorite weapon? Were you a pistol, shotgun, rifle?
The smart rifle.
The smart rifle is such a good gun, because it's so easy. And I don't say that in like a bad way. Like, this game is hard. Having your bullets traced to like the bad guys is kind of super handy.
It is. It really. I don't care. I don't care if I'm gonna be labeled. You know what? This is how I played through the entirety of the Dark Souls trilogy. I summoned. I used the mimic tier.
Yeah, exactly right. It's part of the gameplay, right?
I could not care less about how a game is, quote unquote, supposed to be played by these purists.
I know. Yeah, because
go sit somewhere else.
If you don't do it. But yeah, again, I asked that question because this game is. So you said this is a roguelite and not a roguelike.
Correct.
What's that? What are we talking the differences in that regard then?
Returnal was a roguelike. This is a roguelite. The main difference being, each time you start a run, in between runs, you can apply some permanent upgrades.
Oh, okay. Like the things you pick up in regards to shield or overdrive or what it was in this game.
Correct, exactly.
But in the other one,
you can take your Halcyon, you can take your Lucenite, and you can upgrade Arjun for a bit more every time. In Returnal, if you start a new run, it's the same Celine at the start of the game that you're using at the end of the game.
So that's a lot harder then.
A lot.
because progressively, like in this, you can slowly build up your stats, right? Your resilience, your speed and stuff like that.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's at the end of Returnal, when you die at the end of a 2-hour run, it's soul crushing.
Oh, that sounds horrible. That's like the speed running people who do the Mario courses and stuff like that when they get the last bit wrong. That's soul destroying. This, on the other hand, does it nicely, like you said. This game has, much like all the other roguelike, it just has that just one more run type mechanic to it.
Yes.
In regards to, oh, okay, I almost got that one. Okay, just one more, and this
one
time
more run.
I'll use the shotgun. Like,
I completely understand why people find this game or games like this, like Returnal, so addictive.
Well, it's like you said, gameplay loop. I very rarely fall for like the gameplay loop is the thing that keeps me going, and in this game it was. The gameplay loop is the thing that kept me going through this game, because you do progressively get a little better, or you do progressively get this kind of dies or goes in regards to the luck you have in your RNG, regards to what you get to pick up, which guns you get, how the rarity of the kind of items you get. And sometimes you can get this like perfect run that just makes you feel, this is it. This is the run. I've got the gun I want. I've got all the stats I want. I've got a second revival, my first revival.
Yeah, that thing.
This is it. It does that so well. It's such a small feed of just that balanced, I can do it this time, or I think I can make it this time, all the time.
And how this being a roguelite improves on that, in my opinion, is the more you upgrade your suit or Arjun, the more that becomes viable. The more that RNG tips in your favor.
Yes, it does. It slowly kind of levels up with you to the things you find and stuff like that.
A lot of people seem to think that this game is too easy.
I am not one of those people.
Which, I mean, that isn't true.
A long time to defeat the first boss.
Oh, same. Damn, Prophet?
Yeah, I didn't even know the grass was slowing me down. I was like, what's going on?
Why am I walking?
Yeah, why am I now walking? I didn't, but again, the fun part is, we get all this pressure from people online. Oh, you still, it's the gameplay in that moment is so much fun. The locking in really and all the other things. The only thing I didn't like gameplay wise is this doesn't hold your hand much at all. And there were things on like the randomized things you pick up that I swear they don't explain to you in the slightest. There was later on in game, it says you pick up these things, nice values and some minus values, and it says high volatility rate. And I still to this day do not know what volatility is. I don't know.
But your rate's high.
Yeah, I didn't want high. High's bad, right? I don't want high. It was in capital letters. Capital letters high can't be good. And there was a lot of time where I really didn't know, like, am I doing something wrong? I'll admit this is really dumb gamer moment. You know that first time, or the first or second time, you have to use Halcyon to get past your skill tree map? I pressed X and it didn't work, and I thought that was where, like, a story key had to happen, so I soft capped myself.
Oh no!
And I didn't know for ages that you just have to hold the X for like 3 more seconds to unlock it. So I was doing that first boss. Like I was thinking, what is this? Am I just bad at gaming? What is going on? I literally was dumb enough that I didn't know that I just had to. I was stuck on that bit for so long. But this game still had me coming back for more. Yeah.
Public service announcement for anyone stuck at the Halcyon bit on the upgrade screen. Hold X.
God, no. I felt so dumb. I was like, what is going on? Why can't I get past this bit? And then I just put my finger. I was like, oh, all right then.
Yep,
it's a good game, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This fast-paced, frenetic, bullet hell combat is absolutely a gameplay loop that loads of people can fall in love with. And it being in third person, I don't think there's a lot of games like this.
No, I thought it was really cool. I thought the third person was great. I love the idea that you can still do those builds that you like to do. I want to do a shotgun build. I want to do a melee build. I want to do a rifle build. And you got to, later on, you get to reflect the red bullets back, and your blue bullets help fill up your overgauge thing that you shoot your big things from. There is a lot in the gameplay that just keeps you pulled in and just keeps you going for more.
Oh, absolutely.
That was really cool. I thought they did that phenomenally. Which, anything else gameplay-wise?
just that these big boss fights, especially that first one against Prophet,
Yeah.
You get such huge adrenaline spikes because this boss has 3 phases. I think, like most bosses,
All bosses have 3 phases.
When you're in the second half of that third phase, and you can taste the end of this boss fight,
right?
Your adrenaline spikes, and when you actually manage to defeat the boss, it's you get such a huge amount of catharsis. I can only compare this to the first time I've defeated the Taurus demon in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, Dark Souls is a easy comparison because it's the same thing. But yeah, I get you.
But the first time you win the Taurus demon, your first real difficult boss in Dark Souls, you can't. There's nothing to compare it to until now, I think.
But the boss designs are so clever. Just like Prophet, the first one, you get the open area. And then you, like I say, they are kind of bullet sponges as well. So it's a good, 5 to 7 minutes to take 1 health bar down, give or take.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get the second one and you're like, oh, yeah, he's getting more aggressive. But I got him. And then the last phase, they corridor you down. And you instantly think to yourself, oh, shit. Like, I've got half a health bar. And you kind of just lock in. Yeah. And you just that time stops and you just feel that thrill of these games is like you said, it's like the Dark Souls thing when you do the same
you're
thing.
right.
When you know you've got a fraction of life, if you get hit once more, you're dead and have to redo the run. That
is exactly what happens on the last health bar against a Sword Saint Ishin. Holy crap.
No, it's the same. It's that same. It's that again. It's game. You get the achievement feel from gaming, like that actual hell yeah moment, which is it's again game design. They design it for you to feel that way. Yeah. That's why it's so clever.
That's why real game designers get the big bucks. Designing good games as a game designer. Hell yeah, gaming.
Anything else gameplay, or should we go to performance?
Let's go to performance.
Performance. What do you think?
I think I had stable frame rate. I think I had seamless loading screens. I don't think I even saw a loading screen.
Yeah. No, there was a loading screen.
What do you mean? Like the sun rays?
The sun bit. That's got to be a loading screen,
of course.
Right?
And the eclipse over the tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little cinematic bits between things. But no, you're right. Kind of optimized really well, which is, I guess, with the PlayStation exclusive, you kind of expect that to some degree. But yeah, I had no real frame drops. And this game had every right to have frame drops. With the bullet hell and all the things like teleporting in and going out and you doing all the jumping and swirling around and stuff like that. It had every right to, into gaming space. No, it worked really well from my side.
The only issue I did have was there was some occasional environmental collision bugs. I'd be just walking up a little hill and then I'd stop and it's as if I ran into an invisible rock. So I just shimmy past it or jump over it. But that happened twice or 3 times. It's nothing game breaking, but it's clearly noticeable that there's a bit of geometry there that shouldn't be there.
Got you. But apart from that, performance wise, it gets the thumbs up by all accounts.
Absolutely.
Okay, what did you think of value for money then?
So, the value for money, this has some clearly strong replayability. This is a roguelite.
Agreed. It's got 2 endings, I think. Maybe 3. I can't remember, because I know of the 2, but then I read some other corresponding ones that there's a 3rd, but I don't know if that's just the internet trying to tease you with it.
I guess we'll find out.
But I know it's
eventually.
Got 2 solid endings. A good and a bad, fundamentally, I believe, are fundamentally.
Yeah.
Which is good. We all love multiple endings.
We do. Big fan. All my homies love multiple endings.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, there are few games that offer this specific gameplay loop outside of Returnal. Besides Returnal, I can't think of any other game that has this gameplay loop.
I'm trying to think. Would you include Hades in that?
Ooh.
Hades kind of has the same type of thing. It's more cartoony. But either way, yes, it's got it's.
But no.
It's unique in it and in many ways. It's again a PlayStation exclusive. I hear that people are like, I'll play it when it comes on PC, but I've heard a lot of people saying This one, they say now it's not coming out on PC. It would be kind of dumb if they did say yes it was, because then the sales for PlayStation would go down, and that's kind of the whole point. So I'm dubious about. I think it will come out on PC. I don't see why it wouldn't come out on PC.
Did Returnal ever come out on PC?
I was just thinking that same thing, and I think the answer is I'm not typing at all. I'm not typing at everyone who's listening.
I don't think it
is on
did.
PC. It is.
What?
Well, I got Steam keys for it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's... Returnal's on Steam. So yeah, Returnal came out on PC. So they kind of have a history.
Maybe
of
this will come to
on
PC. Who knows?
But and again, it's $70, which it's not bad. I know it's a lot of money. Gaming now.
It is a lot of money, but this is some good gaming you're gonna get here.
You are
this is a good gameplay loop. Yep. This is a very unique type of game. I think there's some valuable gaming to be had over here.
Yes,
and not just all of that, but the amount of time that you can spend on this game.
Agreed.
And the content made for it. I think it's good.
You unlock harder difficulties, get the other ending. There's a whole
loads of unlockables.
Trophy things are full in there. No, I think. Compare it to everything else that's $70, you're actually getting a good amount of worth in this game. It's a half decent story from my perspective. The visuals are amazing. The gameplay is top notch. I don't even play these games that much, but I kept playing into the early hours of the morning because one more run.
Oh yeah.
Just one more run. I just wanted to. It does that so well.
And if you're one of the bros that think this game is too easy, this game even includes modifiers. So you can handicap yourself and you can make this game even harder than it has to be, just so that you can feel like the elitist you are.
Exactly. And there's kind of did you see all the anti-woke people jumping on this bandwagon?
No, I didn't. I don't even want to know about it.
It's just a story. It's all right. Don't overdo it. Like, come on. I think it's all right. So what did we score this then? After all that said and done, what did we score this?
Our scores for Saros all got on a ship by the Soltari Corporation on their way to Carcosa itself. They had a good time. They all got into, stasis? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they finally got to Carcosa, and they were trying to meet up with the previous two ships, they just weren't there. So they all kind of went crazy, had some chicken, and disappeared. Except for one lone score. And that's the letter grade rating of B+. Excellent score. Really good.
That would have been an A if I hadn't rated it down a bit for the narrative. So yeah, it is a B+. It's a great game. It's a good game. Everyone should play this game.
It would have been the same score for Resident Evil Requiem, which is an A-.
Nice.
But I think B+ is really well. It's still an excellent game.
It really is, and everyone should give it a go. I think they should. I love the world it's in. If I don't play these types of games. I enjoyed it a lot. If you've never played these types of games, make this your first one maybe, because I think you'll have a good time. B+ is a good score. And yeah, I think you should. This is one of those games I was surprised how much I enjoyed it, and the story I've just kind of heard before. Like people, if you play Braid, it's kind of the same story.
I don't know. I've not played Braid, and I am looking forward to the story. Even if there's a nice old twist, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna continue playing Saros. I don't know if I even can finish it. Me and my smart rifle, I think we'll be fine though.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those ones where, again, you just play 30 minutes of it each day, and you slowly go mad. You try to find the yellow shore yourself.
Oh.
I was trying to say.
Well, on that note, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. If you'd be so kind, you know what I'm going to say now, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, press subscribe. Do all of those, and like, and share. And there's another button that we never press. I think it's add to playlist.
Yeah, do that one. That's one we haven't said before. Do that one.
Press all of them
that's-
except for the dislike one, which doesn't even matter anymore.
It really doesn't. It's weird.
Press dislike, see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. We want to know. Like, that'd be interesting.
Anyway, subscribe. Dave, where can we follow you?
You can find me out and about, but during my time at Carcosa, I managed to become friends with the primary, the big robot guy. And he's managed to give me a couple tickets to Carcosa, because I do believe in the capitalistic overlord. I do want more Lucenite and
of course you do.
Yellow. You know, it just reminded me of
Just yellow.
Just yellow. The yellow shores. I want to know more about it, and I want you to be the one to do it. So yes, follow me if you want to be sent to the yellow hellscape that is.
Don't do it. Don't follow Dave. Don't yellow Dave. Please don't. It's a trap. Again, like each week, I keep telling you this. Everyone still tries to follow you. Dave.
Oh yes, the amount of people that have fallen down and followed me, it's crazy. I'm surprised there aren't.
How about Dave? You tell us, what have we got lined up for next week?
Next week is a absolutely crazy pull of a game. A game that is almost as old as I am. Like, I'm just a tiny bit older than it. It's the NES, as in the Nintendo Entertainment System, a 1988 classic Ninja Gaiden, or Gaiden, depending, I never get it right.
That's original Ninja Gaiden.
That's a crazy pull. That's the type of game you can play on, like, your fridge. Like,
oh, yes.
I look forward to giving it a try, but damn, I haven't played a NES game in years.
If you want to listen to us talk about the 1988 NES version of Ninja Gaiden, the first one, tune in next week. We'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.